Good morning, students. This is your English class, class 12. Today we are going to take up lesson number 2 from your book Flamingo. Lesson is Lost Spring. Students, the title of the lesson is Lost Spring, and it has a subtitle also, that is Stories of Stolen Childhood. It is written by Anis Jung. Students, Lost Spring is an extract from Anis Jung's book Lost Spring: Stories of Stolen Childhood. In this excerpt, Anis expresses her concern about the exploitation of children in hazardous jobs like bangle making and rag picking. Anis argues that abject poverty and thoughtless traditions result in the loss of innocence and much needed freedom and education during childhood. The result is backbreaking work, dismal living conditions, submission to exploitation, and acceptance of poverty as destiny. There is a dire need to provide these poverty stricken people, particularly children, a life of dignity and opportunities to dare, dream, and act freely. Students, in the lesson Lost Spring, there are two stories. First is, sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. Second, I want to drive a car. Students, we will take the first story. Sometimes I find a rupee in garbage. The author Anis Jung writes about her experiences after meeting some children from the poorest strata of the society. The first amongst them is a young refugee boy, Sahib Alam, from Bangladesh. He is a rag picker who does not go to school because he does not have one in the neighborhood. Out of enthusiasm to help the boy, Jung promises that she will open a school in his neighborhood, but later feels embarrassed for making a promise that she cannot keep. Over a period of time, she meets more boys like Sahib and notices that none of these children have worn shoes. An analysis reveals that this practice is more due to lack of resources than a matter of habit. She visits their slum, Simapuri, in order to grasp their plight in a better way. She is pained to see their pathetic living conditions. The only benefit these refugees have is an Indian ration card that enables them to buy grains. They are compelled to accept their fate, for they have little choice in life. Picking garbage is their sole means of survival. Anis meets Sahib again after a gap of few days. She hoped to see some positive change in his life. However, it is painful to learn that his attempt to procure a better life, Sahib has moved from one stage of exploitation to another. He now works for a tea stall owner and carries a milk canister which is heavier than his rag bag. As a rag picker, at least he was his own master. Students, now we are going to take up the second story of the lesson, that is, I want to drive a car. Mukesh is another young boy whom the author meets. This boy belongs to a family of bangle makers in Firozabad. He wishes to be a motor mechanic and is willing to walk miles for training. However, a peep into the lives of his family members and other bangle makers like them reveals yet another squalor filled existence which is without hope or dignity. The writer is moved by the deplorable working conditions in glass furnaces. Poor ventilation, high temperatures, and dim lights cause loss of eyesight at an early age in the workers here. The writer is equally disturbed to see the living areas of these workers. Their houses do not have windows, doors are wobbly, and walls may crumble any time. Their lanes stink with choked garbage. During the visit to the houses of bangle makers, Anis Jung gets a chance to sneak into the lives of Savita, a young girl in bangle making industry, Mukesh's sister-in-law, and his grandmother. A discussion with them makes it clear that these people have given up efforts to improve their lot. They have accepted their victimization as their destiny. Poverty and lack of education has trapped these people in a vicious circle that seems impossible to escape from. Even the menfolk do not wish to organize cooperatives or make any effort that could give them a better life. The children born in these families particularly face dual victimization. First, due to poverty, and second, due to suppression at the hands of middlemen, police, politicians, and bureaucrats. However, Mukesh is an exception, and his determination to become a motor mechanic shall perhaps be the first ray of hope for all.